Deepa, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you.
Let's just dive right into it. Let's talk about panic attacks and anxiety attacks and kind of some things that you can do to interrupt the pattern because it's something that so many people experience. And I would say even more than ever before, people around the world are suffering from panic attacks.
Yeah, sure. Um, well, thank you for inviting me. And yeah, I mean, they are awful. Let's put it frankly, let's say it frankly, they are awful and they can be quite debilitating. And they can interfere with your life, with your daily living. And the reason I say that is because I too have experienced it and I work with many people who do. Um, and yeah, I mean, it's very easy to interrupt the pattern of an anxiety and a panic attack. And that's exactly what it is. You've said it exactly the right way. It is a pattern. And it's something that is has developed in the body, in your physiology, um, through an event in your life. And I don't really like to use the word trauma because I think it's overused and I think it's a word that just gets really, really overused. I think it's more, like you say, a pattern. And yeah, I mean, it's very easy. The one thing that I would say is that, I'm not a doctor, but what I have done is have been through it myself. And so anything that I say today and any advice that I give is always, people have always got to, you know, veer on the side of caution and check things out for themselves. But however, I do believe that you can manage it and you can manage it in a very short amount of time. It doesn't have to take years. You don't have to spend thousands and thousands of pounds on therapy. You don't need to succumb to the fact that you've got to take medication for the rest of your life. Um, I come from a very holistic place, but I do believe that medication has its place, likewise therapy. However, I don't believe that you have to rely on these forms to quote fix yourself. Um, yeah, that's where I'd like to start off really, because I know that, a lot of people that I've sort of worked with and who talk to me, who come to me say they have spent years in therapy,
Mhm.
years on medication, which quite frankly doesn't suit their body. They end up feeling like a zombie. They can't sleep. There's so many side effects. And the way that I work with my clients and how I've worked with myself doesn't really involve any of those side effects
Mhm.
because it's a very natural way of working with your body and understanding how your brain works first and foremost.
Yeah, that's a great place to start with panic attacks and I would love to delve deep into like your story and kind of how you were able to get on the other side of all of this, if you may explain a little bit.
Yeah, so I had my first I when I think about it and look back at it, I had my sort of first conscious panic attack in my early 20s. So about 20 odd years ago. But I think subconsciously when I was about 7 or 8, I think I had one, but I wasn't really aware of what it was. Um, and I think when you're that age, you're a child, you're playing around, you're not really kind of consciously aware of what's kind of going on. But I would say in my 20s, yeah, it just happened out of nowhere. And I think sometimes that is what happens when you're in the middle of of life. It
Mhm.
kind of smacks you in the face like anything.
Yeah.
And I was at work and I would say my work was kind of stressful, not overly stressful. And then just in the middle of the day, I just got hit with this massive thing and I had no idea what was going on. My body just kind of went